back to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
I wonder if you know, Dibs, what Niners Chiefs means. Because it means an awful lot around here.
It's the Joe Montana Bowl is what it is, for those of you who partake.
Yeah, is he going to post on social media again about how he's not supporting one side over the other? He doesn't really care who wins.
Yeah,
He
he's
just wants
better.
both sides to have a good time.
And I hope we can get him on the station to answer for his fandom and figure out exactly what side he's on. And Alex Smith, too, quite frankly, because Alex was, his time here was a little tumultuous.
He has more of a reason to root for the Chiefs than Joe Montana does.
Interesting you say that, because Joe Montana went there and immediately won a playoff game. And Alex Smith went there and, was kind of holding the bag for Patrick
when Joe
Mahomes.
Montana left the Niners, he was the greatest quarterback to have ever lived.
He was. Is he still?
Probably not.
Right. And that's always subjective. But, I think the two of them both have equal reasons to have split allegiances going into the game. But yeah, it's a huge game. I don't want people to think that I'm not fully engaged and fired up in this game. It's a great regular season game. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, this might be, although something about the Buffalo Green Bay back-to-back has got me
Both
really
on the
excited.
road.
Yeah. And that's obviously further down the road. But for right now, you've got KC, defending champs, Super Bowl rematch at Levi's in an absolutely spectacular October day. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be blue sky, 125, the eyes of the nation upon us. I'm fired up for this game.
I mean, look at the next 7 games. Kansas City, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Green Bay, Buffalo, Chicago.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, Chicago, who knows what they'll be when that game comes around early December, but they're looking good right now. Caleb Williams looking better every single week. You know what Buffalo is. You have a good idea what Green Bay is. Seattle, Tampa looks awesome right now. Baker Mayfield's in the MVP conversation. Dallas, okay, maybe that wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be. And then Kansas City this week. That's tough sledding. You then have Los Angeles, the Rams, and Miami. Maybe by then those teams are better than they are now. Maybe they get healthier. Then you have Detroit as well.
Wow.
They'll be without Aiden Hutchinson, but that's still going to be a really tough game. You've got a really tough schedule coming up, which just emphasizes if the Niners play like they have through 6 weeks and that continues, they're going to rack up some more losses. They simply have to play better. There's no doubt about that.
And Seattle off a bye. We need to keep that in mind as we talk about rest differential. The Niners have the worst rest schedule in the NFL. And
next 2 opponents, both coming off byes.
Exactly. And this one is a little bit mitigated by the fact that you're coming off a mini bye, but Kansas City does have the second longest winning streak against the Niners in the National Football League. And so, Carter, if you would please, game show music, please. Which team in the NFL owns the longest current winning streak against the 49ers?
Let me just look up. I'm looking up standings just so I have all the teams in front of me.
The Chiefs have beaten the Niners 4 consecutive times. There is a team that has beaten the Niners 5 straight meetings between the two. Who is that team?
So this obviously includes postseason because 4 straight losses to the Chiefs.
Yep,
includes
correct.
2 Super Bowl losses. Okay. My mind immediately goes to the Baltimore Ravens.
It's a great guess, Grandi, but I'm afraid that is incorrect because you're forgetting 2015, Niners 25, Baltimore 20. Baltimore has won 6 of 7 against the Niners.
That was close.
6 of 7. That's a great guess, actually.
My mind next went to the Minnesota Vikings, but I know that's not right because the Niners beat them in the postseason just a handful of years ago. That was the
Vikings
2019
have won
season.
6 of 9 and 3 of 5.
Okay,
so
that wasn't an official guess.
No. But this is a spoken word. It's a spoken word format. You could guess 5 more times, and I don't think that you would get it. This is a very difficult question.
It's got to be an AFC team, and this streak has to be dating back to like 2000 or something. That's why it's...
It is, and it is. It goes back to 2005. Actually, the last win for the Niners over this team was 2001.
The last win for the Niners? It's not the Patriots.
No.
It's not the Dolphins.
No.
It's not the Jets.
No. They just beat those teams.
I don't know about the Bills. Not the Ravens. It's not the Steelers.
I know who it's not.
It's not the Browns.
No.
Is it no, it's not the Texans. Colts, Titans.
The Browns have won 5 of 7. They beat the Jags last year.
Is it the Cincinnati Bengals?
Is it the Bengals?
Oh.
Now, the Niners have won 3 of the last 5 against the Bengals. You give up?
That was my worst guess. Let me get one more guess here.
Yeah.
It's not the Chargers. It's not the Broncos. It's not the Raiders. It's not the Jaguars.
You've named every team
not
but
the Titans.
team.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the Colts?
It's the Colts!
Oh, yeah.
The Colts have won 5 in a row against the Niners.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. If the streak went back that long, you had to be a team that was good in the 2000s and maybe early 2010s.
And a
Peyton
team
Manning
that you didn't
there.
happen to cross over with, like based on, you were 4th and they were 4th. The Colts beat them in 21, 17, 13, 09, and 05. So you've only played them every 4 years. And the last time you beat the Colts was in 2001.
Wow.
40-21, Niners win. Terrell Owens from Jeff Garcia to salt it away in the fourth quarter. Garrison Hurst with a touchdown. Jose Cortez, your kicker. 2001. You were...
I was 5 years old.
Wow, dude. Yeah. Grandi.
Yeah, those are the names. Those are the names that are in my head from the first Niner team that I remember. Jeff Garcia, Garrison Hurst, T.O., that whole squad. Yeah.
The Colts had that idiot kicker. Mike Vanderjack and Marvin Harrison Sr. Catching a touchdown from Peyton Manning. The Niners win 40-21 to go to 8-2 on the season. So, the Colts, it's kind of a random thing, but
they have not been relevant in a while.
And the two teams haven't played other than the every 4-year divisional crossover.
Yeah, so that 2021 loss, that must have been... Was that the monsoon game? Do you remember it was terribly rainy in Santa Clara? The Niners got absolutely...
30-18.
Boat raced.
Yep.
Yeah.
30-18. Carson Wentz, your quarterback of the Colts.
Carson Wentz.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Elijah Mitchell went for $107 and a touchdown. And your quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo. So there you go.
3 years ago, 2021.
Yep. Anyway.
That was another season that got off to a slow start, 2021. They ultimately bounced back. And that was the year when they won to close the regular season against the Rams to go into the playoffs, ultimately lose to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. But all of that came out of a really, really slow start to the season. Maybe that gives a little bit of hope to the Niners this season that they can bounce back from maybe an equally slow start.
Yep, and that game was the one out of the bye where they were 2-3 going in, and you came out of the bye and you laid an egg at home, and you're right about the monsoon, and the Niners dipped to 2-4, and all the thoughts were... And another lost year, and maybe Garoppolo's not the guy. And from then on, you ended up 10-7, and then you won at Dallas, and you won at Green Bay in the snow in the Hufanga game, and then you lost to the Rams in the NFC Championship. So
Colts lost 5 in a row. The Niners have lost to the Colts 5 times in a row. That streak one more than the Chiefs over the 49ers. 4 straight wins for the Chiefs over the 49ers. What does this matchup mean to you, Niner fans? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you writing it off already? They can't knock the Chiefs off in the Super Bowl, so why the hell would they be able to do it in the regular season? Give us a call. Shoot us a text, 888-957-9570. Up next is Gabe in Tracy. Gabe, what's up? You're on Willard and Dibs here on 95.7 The Game. What are you waiting for? What are you looking forward to? Niners Chiefs, Gabe.
I'm looking definitely for a win. We're definitely going to win by 3. I can guarantee that. It's just like going back to the 3 Super Bowls. The 3 Super Bowls that we lost were because of defense, And so my thing with that is if we can play and stop Chris Jones on that other side on their D, I think we should be fine. And we definitely got to utilize Juszczyk and Kittle in this game. If I'm a coach, I'm using Kittle and Juszczyk in the game because they know we have a running game. They know we have wide receivers. Why not, improvise the fullback and the tight end in this game as much as possible, just to give us, better odds, a better chance of winning this game.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Gabe. I'm not so sure I would call last year's Super Bowl loss, the February loss. I would have put that on the defense, Dibs. Defense was awesome through 3.5 quarters in that game, and I know they gave up some points in the fourth quarter, and then, of course, the touchdown drive in overtime. But that was on the offense for not getting a little bit more done earlier.
Yes, and I do think that game reflects what we've had this year as a problem, which is red zone efficiency. Yeah. And, you got the opening drive, Christian McCaffrey goes in and he fumbles at like the 10-yard line. And that was a time where you would have gone in and at least gotten 3 points and you got 0. So I look at this year as a little bit of a reflection. If you want to talk Super Bowl hangover, for me, it's been a red zone hangover because other than the game against Seattle, where you were 3 of 5, I think, in the red area.
You started 0-2. You were 3 for your last 3.
Right. And so I think that last year in the Super Bowl, I think about the red zone as the biggest issue offensively, and I agree with you there.
Yeah, it kind of has led to the issues so far this year because you were the best team in the NFL, red zone efficiency last year. But you're right. In the Super Bowl, it was not good, and those issues have bled over to this season so far, where you are once again one of like the Super Bowl, you are now one of the worst teams in the NFL in terms of scoring touchdowns, turning your red zone opportunities into touchdowns. And that's going to be an area that has to improve. The Niners relied on George Kittle on Thursday night. He scored 2 touchdowns from the red zone, and maybe that will jumpstart the 49ers red zone offense. Hey, coming up on Wednesday, by the way, you and Mark Willard will be live broadcasting from John Madden's studio as we remember the great John Madden. Members of the Madden family will be there, and former Niner head coach Steve Mariucci will join you guys at 3 coming up on Wednesday. A lot to look forward to there. Can't wait for that. Going to be a ton of fun. And also, we're talking about Niners Chiefs. Sunday, 1:25 kick at 11. The kickoff show begins here on 95.7 The Game with Lo Neal and Evan Giddings. Join us at the Hilton Santa Clara for delicious food, great drinks, and the best pregame show in the Bay. Presented by Habas Law. You've been wronged. Habas Law will fight to make it right. Call 1-800-INJURED or visit habaslaw.com. All right, time for a break here on Willard and Dibs. It's Grandi in for Willard. When we come back, we'll break down more Niners and Chiefs. I think the Niners have an advantage in a spot that might surprise you. We can talk about that coming up next as Willard and Dibs continues on 95.7 The Game.